6 National Sports. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us on today's edition of Talk Sports. Please, we'll go on a quick break, and when we return back, we'll have a proper conversation. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television. And we want to say a very big thank you for joining on today's edition of the program. Lots of actions going on. We saw in the Champions League, and also NBA is back up, and there's just a whole lot happening in the world of sports, locally and internationally. Yes, the rugby team of the Green Falcons of Nigeria making us proud as they represent Africa in a prestigious championship. And then we'll be starting from the home front as always. But I can't just start off without commending or making a comment on Victor Osimhen's performance yesterday. He has actually shown himself over and again that he's arguably the best striker in the world as he stands now. Okay, let's say he's on the same pace, I would say, with Erling Haaland. And then there are some parts where it's just head-to-head, I think, generally between Osimhen and Haaland. I think it's a head-to-head situation because the man is strong, he's very powerful, scoring goals, sets plays, all of that. Victor Osimhen have all of that in his bag. And we saw how he was crucial and instrumental for Galatasaray yesterday and scoring 2 goals. He had the opportunity to score 3, but he decided to, give out the last goal to his teammate so as he would also share in the glory. What kind of a teammate is that? An amazing guy Victor Osimhen is. But we'll get right into that conversation a bit later in today's edition of the program. But starting off, we'll be starting from the home front, where National Sports Commission team inspects Enugu facilities ahead of 2026 National Sports Festival. Preparation on the way as the National Sports Commission undertook another inspection of the sporting facilities in Enugu State as preparation continues for the 23rd edition of the National Sports Festival scheduled to hold in January. The inspection team, led by Secretary of the main organizing committee and Director of National Sports Festival at the National Sports Commission, Mrs. Telsa Opara, was received by the Secretary of the local organizing committee, Mr. Olumide Bamidoro, and other key officials in Enugu. Speaking after the exercise, Mrs. Opara explained that the visit was part of the Commission's continuous efforts to ensure that all facilities meet standards required for hosting a world-class sporting event. Our mission here was to assess the level of readiness of facility ahead of the 2026 National Sport Festival. We are impressed with what we have seen. Several facilities are already in good condition, while others are progressing rapidly. The level of work and commitment displayed so far is commendable. We are confident that by our next visit in a few months, the progress will be even more remarkable, she noted. She further said that, further commended the Enugu State government for its dedication, noting that it, with the support of Governor Peter Mba and the National Sports Commission, Enugu is on course to delivering exceptional festival. State government's commitment and the energy we have seen so far by the local organizing committee and is encouraging, with the momentum given. Enugu will be ready to host the best national sport festival in history. And then moving on, in his remark, Mr. Bamidoro expressed the appreciation of the Enugu State government and the local organizing committee of the National Sports Commission for entrusting the state with the hosting right of what he described as a festival of experience. He assured that every effort is being made to meet deadlines and deliver on the state's promise of a successful event. He further says, we thank the National Sports Commission for giving Enugu State the privilege to host the 23rd edition of the National Sports Festival. This is more than a sporting event for us. It is an opportunity to showcase Enugu's capacity, culture, and hospitality. Innovation and construction works are ongoing across venues, and we are ready and fully committed to providing world-class facilities for every sport, he says. He also added that Enugu's rich cultural heritage, tourism potential, and sports-loving spirit will make the festival an unforgettable experience for participants and visitors. Enugu State with history, hospitality and passion, the festival will not only display sporting excellence, but also celebrate the cultural pride of state. Everyone who comes here will experience something truly unique, Mr. Bamidele added. And also during the visit, the inspection team toured major venues, embarked 4 different sporting events across the state, including the Nnamdi Azikiwe Complex, Enugu Sports Club, Enugu Golf Course, College of Immaculate Conception, Enugu Sports Council, Post-Primary Board Hall, and the base St. Patrick's Eme International Conference Center, University of Nigeria Campus, Neke, and designated roads for cycling. So they went to cover lots of areas and different locations to make sure that the facilities that is being provided by Enugu State is up to standard for the 23rd edition of the National Sports Festival that will be coming up in 2026. We'll be bringing you more development stories around those angles. So moving on now, the World Series, Green Falcons beat Ireland on the debut to reach final. The Nigerian women's national rugby team, the Green Falcons, marked their first ever appearance at the Women's Rugby League World Series with a commanding 10-0 victory over Ireland in the semi-final clash held in Canada on Monday night. The Falcons announced their arrival on the global stage in style at about 8:30 p.m. West African time as Fidelis opened the scoring with Nigeria's first try of the tournament, igniting celebrations among fans and supporters worldwide. The momentum continued when Rachel Ilya, covered brilliantly by Shendel, stomped through the Irish defence with a blustering run, securing Nigeria's second try and sealing a memorable win. With the incredible debut, Nigeria has now booked a spot in the grand final where they will face Eje women's rugby team in what is promised to be a thrilling encounter. Representing Africa with pride, passion and power, the Green Falcons have shown exceptional teamwork, discipline and determination, inspiring a new generation of athletes and reaffirming Nigerians' growing influence in international rugby. And this is just so interesting to see that, okay, more recognition is coming into every sporting activity here in Nigeria, and first time ever represented Nigeria and also representing Africa at large. We're seeing excellent performance from these ladies who are not just playing locally, but also playing in international leagues. So we will see how their outing would be in the next couple of matchups that we'll be seeing them at. So moving on, still talking about the ladies, Nigeria suffers second defeat at the Under-17 Women's World Cup. Nigeria's Under-17 women's national team, the Flamingos, suffered a narrow 1-0 defeat to France in their second Group D match at the ongoing 2025 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup in Rabat. This happened on Wednesday night. After a spirited performance that showed marked improvement from their 4-1 opening loss to Canada, Bancole's girls were undone by the 81st minute strike from Marcia Fantula, who pounced on a rebound after goalkeeper Elizabeth Boniface failed to clear her lines properly. The Flamingos started tightly, pressing high and defending with greater discipline against the Europeans, but they created a few promised chances but failed to convert, with the French defense and goalkeeper standing firm. And then the trajectory continued like that until they conceded in the 81st minute that, suffered them to their second defeat, and that is keeping them at the bottom of Group D. So they still have another match to play, but still, this is just it's a good experience for this set of girls, and we are hoping they are going to develop further after this outing that they have had. And then we'll see how well that will be for them in other outings that they will be going to perform at. So we are moving straight into Champions League quickly, as we saw an amazing performance yesterday by Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen was very, very instrumental for Galatasaray's 3-1 win yesterday against Obed. We are going to bring you the highlights of that shortly after this report. What Victor Osimhen said after the Galatasaray 3-1 win over Bodo. Galatasaray striker Victor Osimhen has said he wants to help his teammates with his goal and assist. He said, as I rightly mentioned earlier, that Victor Osimhen had the opportunity to score a hat-trick yesterday, but he decided to pass out the ball to his teammates so his teammates can also, be in the scoring lineup for the team Galatasaray. And he also won the man of the match. Osimhen spoke after scoring a brace as Galatasaray defeated Bodo Glimt 3-1 in the UEFA Champions League clash at the Rams Park on Wednesday night. The 26-year-old opened the scoring for Galatasaray in the 3rd minute and doubled the host advantage before halftime. The Nigerian international made history as the second Galatasaray player to score in 7 consecutive European games. And this is just so interesting to see. Now, let's come back to the conversation from last year, December, early this year during the transfer windows, where a lot of persons are saying Victor Osimhen should reduce his salary, should cut his wages and all of that, or he should go to Saudi Arabia, this, blah, blah, blah. Everybody just saying what they wanted to say. And I said he shouldn't, cut his wages because he's arguably top 2 strikers. The only striker as it stands now that can match Victor Osimhen is only Erling Haaland, who plays for Manchester City. So these are the only 2 strikers right now that you can put side by side and look at their stats properly. If you're talking about pressure on the ball, if you're talking about set piece, if you're talking about dribbling and, strength. All of these things, these two strikers, talking about Victor Osimhen and Haaland, both of them have those in common. And that's why I said you would always have these two strikers side by side based on the fact that this individual is very, very strong and he always does what he does, that is scoring of goals. And Victor Osimhen has shown that, yes, he is a man that would carry the team. Looking at the Galatasaray squad now, without Victor Osimhen, I don't think they would be able to even survive the next phase of the Champions League. But he is the glimpse of hope that Galatasaray have to go further into this year's Champions League. And then this is just exciting to see that he is actually carrying his teammates along and also having individuals, play their own role, and if there's opportunity for them to score, he arranged the set piece and then he made sure that they find the back of the net. We'll be bringing you that highlight shortly. And then moving on, Chelsea still defeated Ajax 5-1 yesterday in a dramatic fashion. And this is what Enzo Maresca has to say. Maresca reacts as Chelsea make history after 5-1 win over Ajax. Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca has reacted after his side made history in the UEFA Champions League on Wednesday night. Maresca said he was very proud of the Blues after they became the first club in history of the competition to see three teenagers score in one game. Former Barcelona star Marc Guerreiro put Chelsea ahead before Moses Caicedo scored his team's second goal. Former Manchester United striker Wout Gonnett cancelled one of the visitors before Enzo Fernandez and Estavio Williams scored penalties on the stroke of the time. And then Tyree George made it 5-1 for Chelsea, after the break, and in the 5th minute after the break, and Chelsea became the first team in the Champions League history to have three teenagers score. Speaking about the achievements after the game, Maresca told reporters, "I am very proud. It's a special night for the club, for the young players." And then the young players actually had a very